Welcome back. We're going to do some baling. Some really nice hay here behind me. We just got done inverting. Let's take a look at some of that. You can see right here, this did not get inverted. We just kind of flipped it over, kicked away. It was just a little tough on the bottom, and I'll show you some of that here. Right there, that's just a little bit of dampness. Would that have come out today? Maybe. This flips it right on over. Take a look at some of this. This would be what was on the bottom, and it's dry now. Less than an hour of being flipped. That's just beautiful hay. Maybe another half hour, it'll definitely be really good and dry, but I think it's gonna go now. I'm gonna bale a couple bales and see where we're at. But this stuff is beautiful. It's good and dry now. It's just really nice stuff. So a little bit with the inverters gonna definitely go a long ways. So we're gonna sit here and wait just a little bit, let tractor warm up. I always like to give it a good few minutes to get up to operating temp before we get things really wound up here. So my wife's taking off now with the inverter. She's got to go do her bus route. There ain't much for her to do here anyways. That needs to go home, so let's get a couple bales pumped out here and see where that gets us. Well, we got one row off. Stuff looks really nice. Let's see how many bales we got so far. That's 15 bales on the wagon. And this stuff is absolutely beautiful. In about an hour's time, we inverted this. It took about an hour to invert. We dropped from, on the low end, mid-teens. We saw a couple 20s on the moisture meter when we first started baling. And now we're averaging around that 10 to 12%. In less than 1 hour of just drying. Is that just because the dew's finally burning off? Is that because of the inverter? I like to think the inverter definitely made a heck of a difference. This stuff probably would have been all right to bale if we just waited, but I want to get it unloaded and make that 18-mile home and unload it yet tonight before the rain. So that inverter just going one more pass on this field, it's paying dividends. I'm really excited about that. Is that the end all be all? I don't know, but that tool definitely has its time and place where you're going to use it. And I think on this stuff, it's going to make a heck of a difference, put more money in our pocket, more time in our day. It takes a little more time to run it, but it gets you started sooner. And I think there's definitely going to be times where we're going to use it to our advantage in situations like that. So let's look at some of this and then we'll get back to baling. Color never comes through on camera with hay, but that is, I mean, it is about as good a quality of alfalfa as you're going to find. Fourth cutting. Look at that. I mean, fine stemmed, and you can just see it's loaded with leaves. You're not seeing much stem. I mean, obviously you're gonna have stem, but look at that. I mean, that's just impeccable color. It's soft, it's leafy. We're gonna be running about 9th gear with this just to keep the baler full. Running just under 5 miles an hour. Another good day. I'm tired and ready to call it a day. I got to run that the Dodge out to the woods now. We got a tote full of water. Threw a couple extra bags of feed in. I think it's about once a week we'll just top that off with water and throw some feed in the back seat, and then just go park it out there by the pigs. I think I'm ready to call it a day after we get equipment put away and a couple of other odds and ends wrapped up. Thanks for watching. Beautiful fourth cutting. So this is where this is all at. That's third cutting straight grass. We've sorted out. Some of it's nicer than others. Like, it's nice, really fine bladed grass. It's almost too fine bladed. It's not your traditional like orchard timothy I'd want to see. And then that's the alfalfa from this. Underneath is third cutting alfalfa grass, which is a nicer grass. Finer stemmed alfalfa, leafier than that. That's the bottom 3 layers. So that's the fourth cut we just unloaded. We climb up here. You can see that's second cut alfalfa grass, second cut straight alfalfa. There's some first cut alfalfa grass right there. So we do have some dead space here we didn't stack, but I was just trying to give us access so we can kind of get out through that way. Some of this can come out that way. This obviously can come out that way. And then we got stuff in the corn crib right there. That's second or third cutting alfalfa. It's at least done. I think this might be about it for the year. Maybe a little bit more to do, but we might be done. Since we sold so many big square bales these last couple weeks, we got room in the barn now. Obviously, they're still sitting outside, but for the most part, we got some stuff under roof. The main thing is, I don't like balers sitting out. The round baler does sit out, unfortunately, but the big square baler, both my small square balers, they stay inside a barn. We end up with 243 small square bales on that field, and it's just beautiful stuff. Here pretty soon, we'll get this all blown off here, cleaned up, but that's second cut clover right there. That's some mature second cut alfalfa. Want some stuff staged. That's all we have left of clover, and we have a fair amount of that alfalfa left, but I just wanted 6 bales staged here for small sales. I'll be bringing home some first cutting alfalfa grass now, since we have room for a couple more varieties, because this whole bay right here was all second cut alfalfa grass. Really nice stuff. That's all sold now. This was stacked pretty high of second cut clover, almost all the way to front. Now that that's back, we can put a little bit more in there to have some different options. We only have a few more options of big square bales anyhow. Yeah, I really like big squares. It's definitely something I'm probably going to gravitate towards more in the future, but we have so many acres lined up for next year. I don't think we're going to see any fewer bales run through a small square baler on this operation for the foreseeable future, but we will see a lot more big square bales added on into it, in addition to what we're going to be running through the small square balers, just because we're going to pick up so much more acres. The small squares we might be running more per year on the small square balers, but we're going to see huge leaps and jumps in the large square bale production, ideally, if we can keep the thing running. But so far, knock on wood, it's been a good unit for us. And there's some of that clover that we custom baled. This is the guy here, I'll kind of show you. This is our feeder here for the goats. I don't know if you've seen the goats in some other videos, but this gives you an idea kind of how that all looks. But we just took an old cattle feeder, we put some slats in there, and now we can just stack hay into it. So you can see they kind of get up under that. Works pretty good. And on days like this, you know, where we have hay left in the chamber, we can just stockpile a ton in here. The loose hay from today went into that other pen for the smaller goats on that side. So they get the really fine, nice, soft, leafy stuff. These guys get a little bit more of the mature, coarser stuff that I know they can handle, and they don't need the nutrition that young growing goats do. And when we start having goats kidding and lactating, we'll feed them some really, really high quality, rich, fine alfalfa too. But for now, they're just kind of getting whatever we get. And a lot of what they've been getting lately has been foxtail and now some clover. And then there's some rain down hay that they really don't care for, that's been sitting in the feeder a while, but it needs used up.